Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you are brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another apartment renovation. And we're at the Stonestreet Apartments number 3 to be exact in Evergreen Harbor, which is the world that we got with the Eco Lifestyle expansion pack. I had to take a breath in between there. I was really about to pass out because I was like not breathing. It happens when you get really excited about doing voiceovers. But anyway, we're in this apartment unit and we're making it for a family of, I want to say 6? No. It's 8. It's 8. There's 2 sets of bunk beds, which is already wild. There's the parents' room and then there's 2 toddlers. So it's actually for 8 Sims, which was not my intention with making this apartment whatsoever. I just wanted to use these couches from the high school years pack. Quite literally, that was my only intent. Or my only intention, whatever the case is. That was my only goal with this apartment renovation. I just wanted to use those couches. I knew I was probably going to end up doing something pretty pastel, pretty colorful, but somewhat muted at the same time, which already kind of lends itself to doing something a bit more family friendly in my opinion, and having something where like the kids are taking over the house essentially. But I don't know, I wasn't necessarily thinking about doing it for such a big family. I was initially thinking maybe a couple that had like their first 2 children or something, but it ended up being a lot bigger than I anticipated. And you can see that the living room is pretty much coming together at this point as well. I did separate this little space here with a half wall because that's going to look into the kitchen, which I really like. I think that's super realistic, especially for apartments where you might just have there be kind of a half wall or small divide between the 2 spaces, or you don't have a divide at all. But this apartment's big enough where you could definitely get away with it. And I really liked all the colors that I chose. I love this kind of soft pale green wallpaper. I think it's really pretty, and it matches and complements the very pale blue sofa swatch that I chose. And then I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna make it super duper organized. It's gonna be a little bit messy. I wanted to use a lot more of the everyday clutter kit because at the time, I think I recorded this. When did I record this? I want to say early December, maybe like the first week of December I recorded this and I kind of forgot about it, which I frequently do, is if I go on like a binge of building things, if I don't prepare everything within a week or 2, I will quite literally forget about builds. I will forget that I did them. I actually have a few builds in my like raw footage folder currently that I still haven't posted from maybe 6 months ago. It's a process, guys. It's a struggle. But yeah, I had completely forgotten about this one and I was so excited to revisit it. I was thinking to myself, didn't I do an apartment recently? Like, where is it? Did I post that or not? And I realized I hadn't posted it. So I was really excited to kind of rediscover it a couple weeks later and finally share it with you all. But you can see that I am using the tool mod here to rotate these pillows that came with the little camper's kit because I thought a pop of purple would look really nice considering I've got pinks and some very soft pale yellows in some places, more like cream colors. And then I've also got greens and I think I already said blues, and then there's also purple and yellow and stuff. So I thought it all tied together really nicely. I use this little rug from high school years as well for the little front entryway. And then I do the rest of the floor plan, which I thought was actually very unusual for me. I often make the floor plan and then start working on a single room and, work my way around the build. But with this one, because I was so focused on using those couches, I wanted to really decorate the living space prior to moving on to the rest of the apartment because I wanted to make sure that it was going to work with what I had in my head. But the next room that we do work on is the kitchen, which is a pretty decent size considering that I split it with the living room in this way and that this ends up being a 3-bedroom but only 1 bathroom apartment. That's going to be rough. So think about that. We have 8 Sims in this apartment. There's 4 children, theoretically, 2 toddlers and 2 parents. That's already 6 Sims at the moment that are using like the toilet because the toddlers have their own and the same shower for everybody. Bath time, showers, everything. It would be really difficult to play in this apartment, I can't lie, but if you're looking for a challenge, I think it's a great one. I also was really struggling with how to situate this space here because I wanted there to be a dining table for at least 4 of the Sims. I knew there was going to be no possible way that I was going to get a dining table for every single Sim to be able to sit at the same time, especially with 8 Sims. There was just no way. So I kind of struggled to pick a layout so I could appropriately fit a table, but I ended up doing this. I think it's a base game table, and I do change the swatch, but I use these Parenthood chairs as well. So at least 4 of them can sit here. Probably the kids, you know what I mean? If you had a family of 4 kids, 2 toddlers and the parents, maybe the parents would be out in the living room with the toddlers to make sure that they don't destroy everything, or one of the toddlers is in the high chair that I put over here in the corner. Actually, technically speaking, I think because the high chair is almost up against that wall, it probably wouldn't be accessible, but it's there for show. Because actually, down in the comments, please just tell me, do you use high chairs for your toddlers in The Sims 4? I haven't used them in so long, because it's essentially impossible to keep your toddler in that dang high chair. It is impossible. They will, if they don't want to be there, or if you don't already have food waiting for them, they will quite literally ask your adult Sim to take them out the second they're put in, and your Sims automatically do it, which drives me up a wall. And then they just end up eating their food on the floor or the sofa anyway. So you know what? It's there for show. But maybe that's kind of the thought process, is maybe the 4 kids get to sit here and have breakfast and like fool around before school, and the parents are out in the living space trying to make sure the toddlers don't destroy everything while they sip a very cold mug of coffee. I hear that a lot from parents. I am not a parent myself, but I hear that cold coffee is something that they frequently drink because they're always doing something, chasing the kids around or whatever. By the time they come back, their morning coffee is cold. Though, you see, I don't have children and I already have that problem. So when I do have children, I'm screwed. Like, just never gonna finish my coffee. But we're actually almost done with the kitchen here. I just cluttered it up a little bit, added a microwave, added these sticky notes to the fridge, which I love doing. They're from the debug menu from the Parenthood game pack. I almost called it a stuff pack. And I love it because it just adds a little bit of realism, I think, to builds and a little bit more of like customized decoration. But I quickly tried to find a rug here to kind of match the color scheme and add a plant to the center of this table as well. And then I just add a quick runner rug here in the hallway. And what ends up being in the hallway too is just a bookcase, I think, because the bookcase in the living room is blocked by the little kid chair. But I did put a bookcase in the hallway so your Sims can access that. And then this is going to be the one and only bathroom. It's a little bit bigger than my average bathroom because I was trying to be nice and accommodate for the fact that they all had to use the same bathroom, but it's not really going to help them that much. There are double sinks, which is nice, but there is, of course, the shower tub combo with this adorable swatch. It's my favorite swatch of that shower tub combo from, again, the Parenthood game pack. It's got the little elephants on it, and I know that there is, well, actually, no, I don't think there's a matching bath mat, but there is like a complimentary one that also came with Parenthood. This yellow one that I chose, this is the exact one. The swatch that I chose does kind of sort of match, but there's like a pink one I think that maybe matches a little bit better. I don't know. But I'm just cluttering up this countertop here in the corner of the bathroom with like makeup and a little plant because I have a feeling that this bathroom would have so much clutter because of all the kids and all the people that live here. And then the next room that we work on is going to be the primary bedroom, which is a lot more muted than the rest of the home. I did choose this blue wallpaper, which I thought was really pretty. And I chose this bed from Seasons, used these end tables from the High School Years expansion pack, which I hadn't used yet, which was kind of exciting to me. I've used the expansion. I hadn't used the end tables. And I just add a piece of artwork over the bed there and a rug. And then I also just give them a dresser. And I think there's like an armchair in the corner. I wanted this room to be their sanctuary away from all of the children. And I made it a little bit darker. Like they have this black rug as kind of an accent. I don't recall if I change it. I thought it was complementary to the gray tones in the comforter, and it kind of darkened up the space just ever so slightly, but not enough to dull the very soft tones, the very calming soft tones in this room as well. I added a few more pieces of artwork and just tried to kind of shuffle things around to, I don't know, just make it work. I didn't want to block the bed either. I wanted it to work out, and I was thinking of an accent wall and just decided against it because I didn't think it was really that necessary. Added a few more clutter items like some shoe boxes and some shoes, and then added some clutter on top of the dresser as well, which of course I'm using the Everyday Clutter Kit because it's probably one of the best kits we've gotten. I use it all the time now. There are always opportunities to use like the little watch or the glasses or the little like sticky notes with the pens. Such a good idea for a kit. To me, it was like overdue. The second kits were announced, I was like, yeah, you better have like a clutter kit. And they did it. They did it eventually. Originally, I was also thinking of putting a bassinet here because I wasn't thinking of how many kids were going to be in this apartment. I was really just thinking, oh man, maybe they just had a baby and they're going to move out of this apartment at some point because they've got too many kids and they don't have enough space. But I end up getting rid of that bassinet because I have the 2 toddlers and the 4 kids, like the 2 bunk beds. But one of the first rooms that we work on as well, kid-wise, is the toddler room. That didn't make any sense because there's 4 kids. Anyway, we work on the toddler room first. We work on the toddler room and then we move on to the kids' room. But I did really like the toddler room. I struggled to find a color scheme that I really enjoyed. I genuinely had to make a cut there because I lost my voice for some reason, but yeah, I did struggle with a color scheme. I really did. I wanted to tie in a lot of the same colors from the living space and the bathroom and the kitchen, but I ended up going with super orange wood tones, which I honestly really, really like. I think I've done maybe one build where the entire home is like yellowy and orange wood tones. It was a bit overwhelming for me personally. You all might love it or you might absolutely loathe it. I don't know. I don't claim to know your preference, but sometimes I like it. And I think for just this space, it worked really nicely with these kind of like teals and blues and yellows, just very vibrant colors. It really, really pops for a toddler room or a kid's room. So I really enjoyed doing that here. And the room doesn't have too much to it. There's the stuffed toy, there's the toddler blocks, they have a bookcase, they've got a dresser, and that's pretty much it. I don't think I ended up giving them like a toy chest. I don't even know if the kids have one. I always forget about objects like that. I'm always focused on the other skill building items, such as like the creativity table or the chemistry station, which I use even less for kids because it's just such a big item no matter which one you choose, whether it's the one from Snowy Escape or the one from Base Game. It's just a really big item and you need a lot of space for it. So I don't often use it. But I really liked the toddler room. I thought it came out really cute. I used this rug from the Pastel Pop kit because it's just really precious. And I did give them a toy chest. Look at me go. And then this is going to be the kids' room. So this is where they're going to be double bunk beds. I was originally thinking of 2 lofted beds so they could each have a desk, but then I was like, nope, you know what? We're going to go big or go home. This is just going to be for a really, really large family. So I added the beds underneath the lofted bed to make them double bunk beds. I also put these 2 dressers kind of sort of together. When I play tested it, they could use the one on the left, but not the one on the right. It could be a bit wonky for you. I'm not sure. They're really just here for decoration. And there is a dresser right by the front door. I've been doing this a lot more. And the reason for that is because I like a sense of realism. So if my Sims are about to go outside, like, in the winter or the hot weather, I have them change their outfit at the door, at that wardrobe before they go out. I really like that idea. So what I'm trying to tell you is that there's a dresser by the door if you're worried about your Sims being able to use a dresser to change their clothing. And then I'm just pulling out a ton of items to clutter up these dressers because with 4 kids in one room, there's bound to be some level of clutter or messiness or whatever you want to call it. They do have a stuffed animal. They've got these like tubs of their clothing that they haven't put away yet. They've got the little like teddy bear doctor kit and then some other random messy items like all over the floor. But they do also have a single desk. Now, for Sims, having to share this desk would kind of be a nightmare, but they at least have a desk with even more clutter on top of it. And if one of them decides to do their homework at that desk, it is available to them. The others will just have to go out to the kitchen. And that's that on that. There's just one desk and that's all I could fit. There's nothing else. But I do decorate this room as well a bit more with this armchair. There's a mirror. And like I said, I clutter up the desk as well. But that is pretty much it for this apartment renovation. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts. And I will catch you next time I post a video. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.
Was it all just a dream, just all